everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. So normally I do story times in front of my fireplace over there because we pay a crap ton for this apartment and why not use what we have, right? It's a really cool backdrop, but my computer is about to die. So I have to film with my messy kitchen in the background too. What are you gonna do? And if I look a little haggard, I just did the Mouthguard challenge part 2 with my fiance and my brother. That will be up after this, so keep an eye out for that one. Also, you can hit that little bell icon on my channel and get notified when I post it. And if you haven't seen part 1, I suggest doing that first. That one was really funny. It was just me and my fiance. Now, I was going to edit and post the Mouthguard challenge part 2 tonight before I went to bed, but I just watched a video from one of my favorite YouTubers. His name is Lazy Masquerade. He does scary YouTube videos. He does like scary Reddit posts, true stories, and some that people have written. He does other than Reddit too. He does a lot of scary stories, and they're truly terrifying. I watch them all the time because I'm a sick person. No, but they're really good. They're really good. I'm obsessed with him. I watch him like every day. So if you guys want to watch some of his content, because like I said, it's amazing. Or if you want to see the Reddit story or the full story of this, I'll link the Reddit story and the YouTube video, full video, and Lazy Masquerade in the description bar down below. That was a mouthful. Oh my gosh. So I ended up watching, and I think it's a fairly old Lazy Masquerade video. I ended up watching one, and one of the stories was The Whistler. Now, for those of you that don't know the story, I suggest reading it or watching the videos. It's a really good story, and it claims to be true. Now, why this is relevant, I have a lot of like scary stories and stalker stories and all that fun stuff like from the past. It's not fun stuff. That was the wrong choice of words. I was thinking back after I watched that and I was like, my God, like something about that sounds familiar. Something about like a whistling person, a freaky whistling person sounds familiar. And I just brushed it off like, oh, you know, I've watched another kind of these videos or whatever. But got to thinking about it, and that kind of situation actually happened to me. Now I know it sounds like totally false. Everybody probably thinks I'm just making this up, but promise, it's true. I live in a smaller town in Washington. It has like a big city feel now though, because so many people are deciding that this is like the amazing place to go and I'll move here. I've lived here for about a year and a half. When I first moved in, it was just me and my boyfriend. He was working full time, so I was home a lot by myself at first. Packing, getting things settled in, just trying to make this place as cozy as possible. I have a lot of anxiety issues. I'm currently on a serotonin inhibitor, so a lot of that's kind of gone away a little bit, which I'm planning on making another video about that too. Sorry, sidetracked. So one day I was home by myself. I was out on the porch, and we moved here in the middle of summer, so it was a super nice day out. We don't have like, honestly, like the last couple summers we've had a lot of nice days, but normally in Washington State we don't have that much nice weather. I was home, there was nothing really to do. I was sitting outside, I was on my phone, I was reading something, I forget. I look over my railing. I had heard whistling, like whistling a tune. So I looked up and there was this really tall guy standing there. And he was kind of looking at the apartments, looking at my apartment, things like that, because we live on the ground floor, and as you probably guessed, we have a patio. So like people walk by all the time, they look at the apartments, they look at our apartment, things like that. This guy stops and he's whistling and he kind of looks at me, and there's somebody watching me outside right now. How ironic. I looked up and he was just kind of staring, and so, you know, I was like, hi, how are you? Good, do you live here? Which, I mean, I could have been just like sitting on somebody's porch, but I replied, oh my God, there's so many people outside. Yeah, I just moved in not too long ago. I'm kind of setting up, and my boyfriend and I just moved in. And he was like, oh, this is a really nice apartment complex. And, you know, I agreed, and there was just some small talk and whatnot. Then the actual freaky part happened. He continues to ask me, so I don't know the code to my parents' apartment because there's a call box like near our gate. It's like this main gate and there's a little call box and you have to dial in their number. It calls their phone and they can beep you in from that call box. If you live on the ground floor like us, you can just come up on the patios, but obviously they didn't live on a ground floor, or they didn't live on a ground floor. And he proceeds to tell me, you know, I don't know their number anymore. My fiance is walking around in the background. He proceeds to ask me, you know, my parents, I don't know their call box number. I don't know their cell phone numbers. And I came to visit them. Can you let me into the gate? I'm thinking about it and I'm like, if it was your parents, number one, you'd probably know their cell phone numbers, especially if they called you to have you come over. Even if they didn't call you to come over, and they had a cell phone, you would probably know their number, right? Number two, stopping and telling me how, you know, cool the apartments are and how beautiful they are and things like that, asking me, you know, how much I paid, when did I move in, things like that when we were chitter-chattering, doesn't really add up to coming over to visit his parents. I don't know, in my mind, like, it was kind of just odd. He was asking a lot about the apartments, and then he was like, you know what, how can I get into the apartments? Let me ask her. Piecing things together, and I'm like, well, I'm not really allowed to do that. I just moved here. Like, I don't really want to get in trouble by letting somebody in here that doesn't have one of the fobs. Put it up to the little thing on a call box if you don't know, and it beeps you in. He kind of looks at me and his face goes from like jolly and happy with a big smile on his face to really upset, really annoyed. You can't just let me in, like my parents live here. I then got a little scared, to say the least, and a little bit aggravated. Oh, I can't let you in. I just moved here. If you let somebody in and they don't actually know somebody that lives here, or they don't live here, then I can get in trouble and I'm liable. He just kind of like stares back at me and doesn't say anything. Okay. And I kid you not, he whistles like this tune. I can't whistle. Ben can. And as he's walking down the street, down my little sidewalk in front of my apartment, he's just continuing to whistle. Now, I didn't think much of this. He continues to walk down the sidewalk, walk down the street, and I'm outside for a little while. Like I said, it's a nice day. I don't really want to go back inside because it's mania. I continue to sit outside, and like for an hour straight, I hear him walking around whistling. People do that, but I just thought it was odd, right? So then about a week later, I'm talking to my mom about it. She lives next door to us in the apartment next door, if you haven't already heard in a video before. Talking to her about this whistler guy, and I was kind of freaked out, blah, blah, blah. Her face just goes blank, and she's like, I heard the same guy. I don't know, I didn't see him, but like I heard a whistling sound for like 2 hours outside just walking around. My eyes go wide, and I'm like, this is so weird. Then I watched that video that I was telling you guys about in the first part of the video. It is about the whistler. And basically, I don't want to give that story away, so you guys have to go watch that one. I'll link it, like I said. But it scared the living hell out of me after watching that video, because this whistler man is not a good person. He basically like threatens people and then follows them until he kills them or something like that. I probably said that wrong. You guys need to watch it. But like, it was so terrifying to me thinking about it. And this isn't like one of those, you know, terrifying videos or one of those videos that's like not going to make you guys sleep at night. But just the fact that somebody else, somewhere else in the world, heard a whistling man that was creepy and threaten them just like gives me chills. It's just not really a common thing for people to go around and whistle and be creepy to people, you know? So anyways, I wanted to make this one short and kind of tell you what was on my mind and why I didn't edit and post the other video, the Mouthguard Challenge Part 2 first. I thought it was really interesting. Yes, I am terrified, but it is kind of interesting. I haven't heard him since we first moved in. I haven't heard him. But it's insanely terrifying to know that I'm not the only one who heard him, and there's somebody else, like I said, in the world who heard this guy and got threatened, and it was just a very creepy situation. That is another scary story time from yours truly. If you guys liked this video, please don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. It really helps my channel out. Also, if you want to hear more story times, if you want to see more challenges and just random stuff on my channel, please hit that bell icon so you get notified when I post new videos. Alright guys, I cannot wait to make another video for you, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.